Back at the beginning of segment 3 of our course, that was the beginning of lesson 9, I presented a problem. That segment 2, when we did our quantitative analysis, we said we could find the mean of the variable. But at the beginning of segment 3, I asked, how do you find the mean of a categorical variable? Well, we now have all the tools we need to find the mean of a categorical variable. And as I said before, when I first presented that question, it has everything to do with probabilities. Now, this video, we're going to talk about the mean, which in probability theory is known as the expected value. Okay, so to find the mean of a categorical variable, first thing we do is we take a value that represents our category and multiply it by its probability. And then we do that for all of our categories and we add them all together. This is our expected value, also the mean of our categorical variables. So here in this box on this screen, I have the full formula. Let me just quickly explain it, but it is exactly what I just said. The first thing you do is you take a value that represents your category, multiply it by its probability. You do that for all of your categories, and then you just add them up. Okay, that's what this symbol means, is to take the sum of. And that's the equation. But if the equation confuses you and you say, I just want to remember, take a value, multiply it by its probability, do that for all your categories and add them up, that works for me. That's all we need. So if we roll 2 dice, what is the expected value after rolling 2 dice? Well, here's the probability distribution that I showed you back in the first video of this lesson. Probability of rolling a 2 is 1 out of 36. Probability of rolling a 5 is 4 out of 36. 7 has the peak, has a probability of 6 out of 36. All right. So how do we do this? Well, we're going to take each value and multiply it by its probability. So here I have the value of 2. What's the probability of rolling a 2? 1 out of 36. Next value is 3. What's the probability of rolling a 3? 2 out of 36. Next value is 4. What's the probability of rolling a 4? 3 out of 36, and so on. Basically, I take each value, that's the top of my table, and I multiply it by its probability, and then I add them up. So if I do the values times the probabilities, I get all of these numbers. You are welcome to sit down and do this math too to make sure that you can do this right. That's just fine. Anyway, these are all of the values times their probabilities. If I add them all up together, any guesses as to what I get? Here's a hint. There's a peak probability in the middle, and it's symmetric on both sides, so it should average right in the middle. And sure enough, if you add all these numbers, you get exactly 7.0. All right, so the expected value is 7, and remember that this expected value is just the mean of our categorical variable. In our next couple of videos, I'll show you a couple of examples of how to use and interpret the expected value.